Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu from the Rivertown Times, back here on the airwaves of CKBG 107.9 The Berg for the RTT's Week in Review.
A little warmer this Wednesday than it was last week.
Just a bit, yeah. You still got to wear a coat, but you can actually unzip it a little bit. The cold air doesn't take your breath away when you go outside. It's actually kind of tropical when compared to last week.
How is that? That +4 feels like balmy weather, right?
Exactly, yeah.
I've noticed too the days are getting longer. It's lighter now, well after supper, so that's a nice thing. Longer, brighter days are coming our way, I hope.
I still haven't broken out the patio furniture yet, but that'll come soon enough. So, but you're right. Yeah, we're getting a bit more sunlight into the evening, so that's welcome to see. That's for sure.
Well, speaking of the weather, a lot of people came out. Hundreds of people actually came out over the weekend on Saturday to brave the cold January temperatures and take part in the True Festival. There were many different events going on downtown. It was kind of the same footprint as open air. And I know, Ron, you were down there, and some great photos were captured, and they're on the front page of the paper this week.
Yeah, I was down getting all the action, fire shows, drag performances. There's cornhole in the streets. There's the house they were inside the big igloo. You could spin a wheel and win a prize. The Rotary was down there selling hot chocolate and cider. And I know there were some businesses took advantage of the opportunity. Down at the O in Hotel Story, they had some live music in there with help from Musicland, and a few other businesses took part as well, and people really seemed to enjoy themselves. And I had a good time too, even though I forgot my gloves. And so it's kind of chilly after a while, but overall, if you brave the cold, you can have yourself a good time. So, and a lot of people did. So we got lots of coverage of the True Festival in this week's issue of the RTT. We already had it up on our social media accounts over the weekend, and make sure you check out the photos and check out the story in this week's RTT in the print edition and online.
That's kind of the official kickoff, right, to the 2025 festival season. The True Festival marks the beginning of the new calendar year for events, and hopefully it's just a sign of great things to come.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's keep getting bigger and better, and hopefully, the events just keep rolling along and being successful.
Town Council resumed regular meetings again on Monday night. Council hadn't met since December 16th of last year. Many items were up for debate. There were also several delegates speaking on issues for potential street name designations, a memorial bench, concerns surrounding a certain town contract, and Council did vote to approve the 2025 budget.
Yeah, the story we got in this week was the honorary designations of a section of King Street between Gore and Simcoe that will be known as Max Simpson Way. That was requested by the Amherstburg Freedom Museum. The museum, originally founded as the North American Black Historical Museum, was founded by Max Simpson and his wife Betty. Melvin Max Simpson will be honored with that stretch of King Street dubbed in his honor. Of course, it's the museum's 50th anniversary this year, so keep your eyes out for a number of different events that the Freedom Museum will be putting on. This is just one of the items they're doing to commemorate their 50th anniversary and to also mark the legacy of their founder. That passed with relative ease on Monday night, as did the designation of Dalhousie Street. Part of it's going to be known as Veterans Way. Originally proposed for between Gore Street and Richmond Street. It's actually going to be expanded from Gore Street all the way down to Fort Malden. And so that's going to be carry the honorary designation of Veterans Way, and that was requested by Royal Canadian Legion, Fort Malden Branch 157. President Sean Wilkie was before council, and again, it was passed with relative ease. Those two designations will be going forward. I should point out there's very little cost to residents, and if you live on Dalhousie or have a business there, or the same thing for King Street, you don't have to worry. They're not actually changing your address. It's just kind of a designation that the streets are getting. It'll still be King Street. It'll still be Dalhousie Street. And it's similar to what Council of the Day did several years ago. If you've seen the Via Verde signs on Texas Road, it's the same sort of deal there. It's an honorary street name. It's not the official street name, so your addresses and everything else will stay the same. But you see a special signage up. It's honor of our veterans. It's honor of Max Simpson, and that passed Monday night at Town Council.
Big things coming out of IRCA. The AGM was held last Thursday night, and one of Amherstburg's own is now holding the seat of chair of the board of directors for IRCA. Molly Allaire was acclaimed to that position.
Yeah, she was. Came every year. It's IRCA names their chair and vice chair. When they do make a change at the chair's position, they alternate between the city and the county. It was Jim Morrison the last 2 years, but the chair for 2025 has been acclaimed as Molly Allaire, the Amherstburg Town Councillor. We've got a full story on that on page 3 of this week's RTT. She's got a number of goals. She's admitted to be a little bit nervous taking her position at the head of the table, but she is the IRCA chair for 2025, and congratulations to her. It's always kind of nice to have a chair of such a position close to home like this. So again, it's congratulations to Molly, and good luck to the IRCA board going forward in 2025.
Very exciting. Also, very exciting news coming out of Briarswood Youth Camp. The camp announced last Friday that they are the recipients of a $150,000 Ontario Trillium Foundation grant.
Yeah, they had a ribbon cutting. Essex MPP Anthony Liardi. We had Deputy Mayor Chris Gibb was out there. Obviously, people from the camp, and there's a lot of their contractors or builders or designers, that sort of thing. They redid their bathrooms to make them accessible at the activity center, as well as redid their kitchen. It's the building. If you're familiar with the camp, you first pull in off Texas Road. It's not the big building right in front of you. It's the building to your left. So that's the activity center, and they had a lot of work done in there, and that was celebrated last Friday afternoon. So congratulations to Briarswood. I know Briarswood has their ribbon chicken dinner this Saturday night. I don't know if tickets are still available. I know they're wrapping up ticket sales, but it is Saturday night at the KFC Hall in River Canard. So hopefully that goes very well for the Briarswood people, and the Briarswood Youth Camp Optimist Club oversees that. I know they've had a lot of volunteers led by the Cathys. Kathy Poupard, president, Kathy Robertson, vice president, and all their board of directors and all the many volunteers it takes to run the camp. So congratulations to all involved for getting the OTF grant. And hopefully there's even more bigger and better things to come. There's still upgrades they want to do there, not just to the activity center, but all over the camp. I know they've put in new cabins. They've done a lot of different renovations and upgrades, and there's still more to come. And check briarswood.com for ways to donate, because I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
Speaking of ways to donate, the Amherstburg Food and Fellowship Mission, they hosted their annual Volunteers Appreciation Dinner last Friday night. I unfortunately couldn't attend. Of course, I was at a hockey game. That's where I seem to be most days. But you got a chance to go out, Ron, and enjoy in some food and fellowship, and said it was very well attended. About, 40 people?
They had about 40 people, well, not counting the board, which brings it up to probably closer to 50. But a great potluck meal was served. It was just a chance for the volunteers to meet one another and just say thanks to one another for all the effort. It's the mission is 100% volunteer run. The board's all volunteers, and everyone who puts in time there, puts in service there, that's all volunteer work. So nobody gets paid. And last Friday night was a way to say thank you. I talked to a board member, Jill Canwisher. She helped put on the event, and said there's while they're pleased with the number of volunteers they have, and they're definitely thankful for all their efforts, they can still always use more. They still need people to help wash dishes, to do some cleaning. And we have more information in this week's RTT, not only in the story, in our community events column as well. And so if you're interested in volunteering at the mission, check it out. Call 519-736-9140. Pop by the mission at 298 Victoria Street South. If you're a high school student needing volunteer hours, check it out. They're open to all high school students, not just North Star, even though North Star is right across the street. I'm sure if you're from Villanova, La Jeunesse, or wherever you're from, go on in, and I'm sure they'd welcome you. If you're an adult looking for things to do and ways to give back, could use your help as well. So make sure you check out the story on the volunteer dinner and the call for volunteers in this week's RTT. And they also got a chili dinner. Tim's Famous Chili Dinner is coming back. The fundraiser is coming up on Friday night, February 21st. Make sure you buy your tickets at the mission. More details are in the story in this week's RTT and again in community events, so make sure you check it out.
Another organization looking for volunteers and scheduling events too is the Coldest Night of the Year. It's going to be put on by the House Youth Center. The Coldest Night of the Year is February 22nd. They have quite a lofty goal this year. Last year they brought in $36,000 and they're hoping for 2025 to raise $50,000. So lots of information about that. You can visit the House Youth Center website, or you can go to www.cnoy.org/volunteer if you want to volunteer for that event. They're also hosting an event at GL Heritage. It's the So Cold Social that's planned for GL for February 7th from 6 to 9.
And you mentioned a volunteer site. It's cnoy.org/Amherstburg. If you want to get on the main site, register a team to just register as a walker or simply to donate. And while the event's February 22nd, I should point out that donations are accepted right up until March 31st. So if you can't make it to the walk or can't get a team together for the February 22nd event, you still can donate right up until March 31st. As Laura said, they're hoping to get $50,000. It's the biggest fundraiser of the year for the House Youth Center. They're based out of the Amherstburg Community Hub at 320 Richmond Street, and that's where the coldest night of the year walk will start and end at. Of course, there's an after party at Shooters. Shooters is the main sponsor. They have a number of sponsors. And if you're looking to sponsor, I'm sure they'll be pleased to accommodate you as well. So make sure you check out the full story in this week's RTT. And also the story is posted at www.rivertowntimes.com.
You and I were at a couple ribbon cutting ceremonies these last couple of, well, I guess probably about a week now. We've been out a couple of times. The big one, the big one that everybody in town was anxiously awaiting was Taco Bell. You and I were there with members of council on Monday when they officially cut the ribbons and they opened yesterday to the public.
It's a popular request. When's Taco Bell opening? When's Taco Bell opening? And the answer is, it was yesterday, Tuesday. They are now open to the public. In case you haven't heard, I'm sure it's been a hot topic around town. It's been in this week's RTT, and it's on the website. And so it is open, the new drive-through restaurant at 527 Sandwich Street South. And it's in the same plaza as the new Burger King. And Starbucks is still under construction. Not sure when that's opening just yet. And we still have the building going up next to it. And unfortunately, I've had no firm answers as to what's going in there. But again, we'll stay on top of that. But that was just one of two ribbon cuttings at Taco Bell we covered last week.
And the other one was at Flowers by Anna. We went in there. The business is going to remain the same name, but the new owner is Lisa Levesque. She was in there and welcomed us into her shop and gave us kind of a little tour and an overview of what she's got going on and the things that she wants to, she visions for her new business. So it was great to meet with Lisa and her husband, and I wish them all the best.
Yeah, big congratulations to Lisa and Steve. Carrying on the great tradition at Flowers by Anna, it's they got a great location right at Simcoe and Sandwich Street South, right on the corner there. So you get a lot of walk-in customers, and full story on their business and their plans this week's RTT as well.
Turning our attention now to sports, not a lot going on because the high schools are in exams, so all extracurriculars have taken a break for now, and we'll start again in February. But the Admirals were on the ice, and they picked up a big OT winner in a shootout against Essex at home Saturday night, but they couldn't keep that winning streak alive when they faced off against the Blenheim Blades in Blenheim on Sunday.
Of course, Essex always brings a talented lineup to anytime they come into town. Talented club. They came into town 31-3, but the Admirals hung in there and beat them in a shootout last Saturday night. Important win for the Admirals, but the momentum stopped in a big hurry Sunday night in Blenheim and lost 8-1 to the Blades. And so they'll look to get back on the winning track this weekend. They have back-to-back home games. Saturday night, 7:30, they welcome the Walpole Island Wild. And at Sunday night at 6:30, it's always a good game when the Lakeshore Canadians come into town, the defending provincial champions. So back-to-back weekends with the top two teams in the league, Essex and now Lakeshore this weekend. Walpole Island, they've been known to cause Amherstburg a bit of trouble in some games in the past, so they're not to be overlooked. So again, Walpole Island Saturday night, 7:30 at the Libro Center. Sunday night at the Libro Center, it's Lakeshore at 6:30 p.m.
AMHA is putting out the call for the public input on helping them come up with a name for the new hockey club when Amherstburg Minor Hockey and Erie North Shore Minor Hockey merge for the upcoming 25-26 season in the fall. They're looking for ideas regarding the name and also a new logo.
The organizations, of course, are amalgamating. We've covered that in the past, but now we've got an update in this week's RTT, page 11. So make sure you check that out. As Laura said, they're looking for input on the name, the logo, that sort of thing. Well, we'll see what they're going to be called and what everything's going to look like as they get ready for next hockey season. In some ways, it's sad. Amherstburg Minor Hockey's been an institution locally for many, many years. A lot of great players have gone through the ranks. A lot of kids have learned fundamentals of hockey and how to play hockey, and they've just had a good time playing the great sport. But next year, things will change, and they're going to move on and amalgamate organizations, and they're looking for public input on how that's going to look.
Yeah, I think big changes are coming. I'm not ready for all this. I agree with you, Ron. You hate to see it go. You know why it's happening, and I think in the long term it'll serve us better. But it's hard to see this change and not have some sad little hard feelings over it.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're not the only ones. This has happened in quite a few municipalities that the mergers have to happen, and it's just kind of maybe a sign of the times. I'm just reading here now in Fred Grove's story about the merging and about the logo and everything. They're taking submissions until the 15th of February. I don't see in here where it says to submit them, but I'm sure if you go to the AMHA website, it would be on there.
Amherstburghockey.com. So make sure you check that out. And speaking of mergers, Erie North Shore themselves are a subject of a merger. That's Kingsville and Harrow had come together. Now Amherstburg's going to be joining the fold. Story on page 11 of this week's RTT, so make sure you check it out.
All right, just looking also towards the weekend and things coming up. The Legion, they're going to have a special pasta dinner. They're hoping to raise funds for their new sign. That's going to be on Sunday. It's an all-you-can-eat pasta dinner from 1 to 4 with a live band. The band is back-to-back. Tickets for that special event are $20, and you can see the Legion ad on page 5.
So make sure you check that out. We got another ribbon cutting coming up this Saturday at the Point. I got a few things. I know there's wood duck boxes being built out at the AMA Sportsman's Club this Saturday morning, so make sure you check that out. Call the Sportsman's Club for more information. I believe it starts around 9 a.m. But give the Sportsman's Club a call or check out their website at amasportsman.com. Yeah, we'll stay on top of as much as we can. As Laura mentioned, we got following up on a number of different council stories. I know there was a motion passed regarding the Boblo Ferry. The council still would like to see make sure the residents on the island are taken care of. They talked about business licensing, talked about all sorts of different things, and talked about the TNR program for cats, wanting an update there. So we haven't heard the last of that. That was mentioned at the meeting, and it could be mentioned at future meetings from the rumblings I'm hearing. So again, we'll stay on top of everything else. We'll talk about a memorial bench. There's talk. On a variety of different subjects. There's a lengthy 3-hour meeting on Monday night. So we'll do our best to stay on top of that. Again, we were able to get one story in for this week's issue, and just because of cramped deadlines. But we'll do our best to follow up as quickly as we can on the other material coming out of the meeting. So make sure you follow us online, www.rivertowntimes.com. And as always, pick up a print edition.
I was looking back that the last council meeting was December the 16th. So you had more than a month off with no council. When you sat down in the chambers on Monday night, did it all come flooding back like you never left?
Pretty much, yeah. It's council got off to a late start. They had an in-camera session, and so the main meeting itself didn't get underway till I want to say about 6:20 or so. They went till about 5 after 9. Councilors, as usual, had a lot on their mind. And,
all pent up over the holidays.
Pretty much. And they talked about tax bills. Of course, the budget was passed. I think you mentioned that earlier. Lots of stuff on the go. So don't worry, we're on it, and we're going to be stay busy writing it all up and putting it online and putting it in the paper.
You just get one council meeting done, taken care of online on the paper, and then it's council night again. And it starts all over.
Pretty much, yeah. It keeps me busy and certainly helps me fill the pages, that's for sure.
That's right. All right, Amherstburg, take care. Have a great day.
Have a great day. We're back here on the airwaves next Wednesday at noon and the replay at 4:30. Have a great day. Have a great week and take care.